Hey everyone, welcome back to Movement Matters. This is episode 8, and yeah, got some good stuff to go over here. I think first I'll kick it off with a little demo. I had some discussions earlier with someone about the cleans and how to dial in a clean a little bit. So let's take a look at the clean here. So, all right, basic cleans. More from the side. Okay, so there's a clean. What we were talking about was having the kettlebell go the shortest distance possible. So when we're looking at a clean, we're not wanting to go way out and around this long arc here. Trying to keep it nice and tight to where, hey Mabel, to where the arc stays really tight on your arm here. It's just this far, not out here, but just right in here. So the kettlebell is pretty much going the shortest distance it can go while still doing the move. So it's real tight right here. Just keep that in mind as you're giving cleans a try. It's a little pointer I see missed sometimes. That the kettlebell travels the shortest distance it can go to do the move. Yeah, so there you go with the cleans. You can mess with that a little bit. All right, the next thing here was I had someone asking me about how I got to where I am here, like what was the journey to this spot. So I'd been in the field for a little bit, but I hadn't found what I was looking for. So did some poking around, and that led me to the functional movement screen with Gray Cook and Doug Burton, I believe. I think that's it. So anyway, that was back at the beginning, way back, functional movement screen, which I still use to test people today. If you don't know much about that, look it up, functional movement screen. So from there, I went on to the kettlebells, because in the rehab or the correction videos for the movement screen, Gray's a physical therapist, so in their correction, they actually mentioned some kettlebells, and I really hadn't seen much about kettlebells at that point. And they were rehabbing a shoulder or rebuilding a shoulder, and they had built up to the point where they were using half get-ups. I was like, what are they doing over there? I hadn't seen that. No one told me about this. So checked it out, went and found a kettlebell, and it was game on at that point. I could get all the movement that I had been looking for out of my students, and could keep that strength component in there, which is the beauty of the kettlebells, the athletic strength. So from there, it was time to figure out how to do the kettlebells. I did a hard style kettlebell certification with Dave Whitley and Karen Smith down at Virginia Beach. And of course, that just wet the whistle, so now I wanted more. So I went out to California and did the Russian Kettlebell Challenge, the RKC, with Pavel and Mark Rifkin, Dan John, all the guys were there. And once you take that, you can then take a CKFMS course, which is basically blending the kettlebells with the FMS, which is taught by Gray. So I got to meet Gray and do that one. And then finally, the Strong First certification, which I did up in Boston. And again, with Pavel and the guys. So yeah, that's the journey that I've been through here over the past 10, 15 years, getting to this point. Yeah, and that's how we arrived at the kettlebells here, and we've also arrived at acting and training like professionals instead of just going wild with spastic movement. So there's the journey. Enough about that, right? All right. So next thing on to let's see, anti-shrugging. Had a guy in here today. We were talking about anti-shrugging. So shrugging is here. Anti-shrugging is here, down. So lifting, exercising, training It's not shoulders up, it's not shrugging, it's shoulders down and under. So it's an under move instead of an over. Under instead of over. Under. So if I'm pressing or pushing, or even here, it's still under. It's not over. It's still under, even though I'm going overhead. It's not creeping up. This is staying down, and this is driving up. So keeping shoulders down, or anti-shrugging. We were doing a hinge stretch, which hinge stretch. There we go. And then hinge stretching, and it was shrugging up. So it's getting the shoulders back down. Shoulders down, anti-shrug, anti-shrug. Here, here, anti-shrug. So with all of your training and all your drills, I'm constantly going to be saying anti-shrug, anti-shrug. So let's go ahead and work that in now. Next, we had some hand pressure questions. Looking at your hand, here's the strong point in your hand, right down here at the base of your palm on the pinky side. This side up here, not nearly so strong. If I was going to strike something, I would be striking from here. And this point here causes a phenomenon that'll radiate right up your arm, right into your armpit. So by pressing with the base of the palm on your pinky side, we can get more armpit or anti-shrug action happening. When we push from the thumb, it tends to want to drive the shoulder up. When we push from the pinky, it tends to want to press the shoulder down and under. So when we're centering a kettlebell, we're going to center it across the palm here. If we're doing a push-up, we're going to push from here, hinge stretching, anything on the ground. You're driving from the base of the palm on the pinky side here. Okay, that's the strong spot. Always get pressure there. So let's see. Next was somebody asked about, a new person came in and asked about why we're not wearing shoes. We do all of our training either with flat shoes or barefoot, and the reason being is, first of all, our feet have a lot of muscles, tendons, bones, ligaments in them that need some exercise, number one. Number two, you have a lot of nerve endings in your feet that send, well, they tell your brain what's going on in the environment by the way it feels under your foot, right? So we can sense little changes in things. And the less sensitive your feet are to those kinds of things, the less powerful you can be and the more tippy you become. So as time goes on, you see people starting to tumble, and a lot of it is because of the foot coffins that they've spent so much time in. So shoes can be called foot coffins sometimes. Be our little knock on the shoes. But as much as you can, if you have foot problems, obviously you got to do what you got to do. If you have medical issues and things there, forget about what I'm saying. But if you don't have medical issues, give it a go, give it a try. You need your feet to be strong. You need to get rooted. You need to practice feeling your feet driving into the ground and pulling the energy up out of the ground. There's a reason why shoes for sports have cleats. They help you grab the ground a little bit better. Really focus on pulling the energy up out of the earth as you do these. So next would be kind of going to go back to the clean, because it came up again with the clean. And I'll show you again real quick. The last bit here today, I would say, would be locking out. So when I lock out, it's quads, butt, and stomach. Lock straight. So locking out, all three lock tight at once. Quads, butt, and stomach. That creates a sturdy platform from which you can either release energy or which you can stand there and hold it with. If I'm under pressure, I need to be locked out. If I stop locking out, I get wobbly. Locking out on a swing, for instance, or a clean, it's right the moment when you stop and the bell keeps swinging. So for instance, in that clean, I lock out and it pops the bell up. Just like that. Right, so that lockout helps pop the bell up. We use it on all our drills. Before I go to press, for instance, if I was going to stand here and press, I lock out from here down, so I'm sturdy and stable. So there you go. There's a handful of things to mess with there. Take some of that and run. Lots of things I'm hearing on a regular basis. We're surrounded around many of these particular topics right here. So take your time, get these things straight, enjoy. Catch you later.